Hey there, in this cropping video, we're gonna crop to a specific size. Let's say we've got a photo frame and it needs to be an exact size, or say it's for a magazine and it needs to be A4 or US letter. So we're gonna show you how to do that, get it into the perfect dimensions. But what we're also gonna do is I'm gonna show you how to, no background there, ready? Magic up more background. Cool, huh? Let's do all of that now in Photoshop. To get started, open up Cropping 02 from our exercise files. Now we want to get this into, say, a photo frame or into, say, a US letter document or an A4 document, something it's a really specific size. Okay, I'm going to show you how to do that now in Photoshop. Now, just so you know, like we did with the postcard earlier, I find it's easier to go to File, New, create the size that you want. Okay, so let's say it's 5:7. Okay, create that document in here, and then just drag this image into it. So my move tool, drag, move it in. This one has to be rotated around, and I can see it's not quite big enough, so I'm going to have to resize it. Okay, I'm using my transform tool. I find this is an easier process. Okay, don't worry if you don't like that way. Let's do it the official way. Okay, so I've got this image open. I'm going to grab my crop tool, and up the top here, instead of ratio, we're going to pick one of the default. Okay, this one here is a real traditional kind of photo frame size, 5 inches by 7. By default, it's going this way, so I want to flip these across. Okay, and you can see it just needs to be trimmed a little bit either side. When you're ready, hit return, and there you go. It's cropped to those specific dimensions. I'm going to go to edit, step backwards. Just so you know, up here, we've picked 7:5, but let's say you've got a different photo frame or anything else, right? It is 6:4. Okay, you can just type it in there, just type them in, flip them around. Okay, it's up to you. Now you can type, instead of one of these default ones, you can go to the top here and go to width, height, and resolution to say, actually, I want this to be, I'm set to centimeters in my preferences because I'm based in Europe. You can change yours and your preferences to inches, but let's say I want mine to be 297 millimeters, okay, by 210 millimeters. I'm gonna flip mine around. That's kind of an A4 size. So if you don't find that kind of preset in here, you can just go and type it. The only thing you need to be careful of, let's say we're on 5:7 and you finish it and you love it and you move it around, you're like, that's perfect, return to my keyboard. And then later on, you're just working on a different document and you're just gonna run into this. It's gonna be a gotcha. Is that you're like, okay, I'm just gonna go, gonna grab my cropping tool. I'm just gonna kind of stretch this out. And you're like, hey, just, it's kind of locked in this resolution. So if you leave it like that, it's going to remember it. And it might be months before you get back into the cropping tool. And that's where I get emails. I'm like, Dan, my cropping tool doesn't work. And it's just got to go back to this top here and go to ratio. Not ratio, go to width, height, and resolution and go to clear. And now, okay, I've got that kind of like full control again. I'm going to escape. I'm going to close that one down. That's not what I wanted to do. What I want to show you now is some amazing magic. I hinted at it at the beginning. We magicked up background, and that's super useful. So I'm going to edit, step backwards to this thing here. Let's say I'm not using it kind of in this traditional kind of landscape sense. I want it for something a little bit more social media-y. I'm going to zoom out a little bit. Let's say I need like a banner out. I need to be like, it's the header in my Facebook page, or it's a leaderboard in a banner ad that I'm making for our website, or that big slider hero box that appears on lots of home pages or websites. Whatever it is, you just need more background, right? Maybe not that much. So when I do this, it's just going to leave a big gap there, right? Hit return, got a big gap, unless, you ready? So I'm going to click it again. I've got O2 open. I've got my crop tool. I'm just going to turn that magic button on. This is the magic. I'm going to drag it out a bit. Got a big gap, but now when I hit return, you ready? Holy moly magic. Just made more beach and sky. Cool, huh? I love that thing. Remember to turn it off when you're finished with it if you don't want it to do it anymore, but yeah, it's just super helpful. Now, a little, I guess, asterisk here for you is that I picked a really good example for this to impress you and me and everybody. So it doesn't work on all images. Okay, I picked this one mainly because it has a consistent background. There's a lot of background. Okay, if this originally started like this without all of this background, okay, and it was all of this, it's gonna look horrible. Let's give it an example of something that kind of half works. So let's go in File, Open, and let's go to Cropping 3. So this one here, we're gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna zoom out a little bit. I need some extra width. Okay, so I need to go this way. Okay, and I need some width that way as well, so I'm gonna go both ways. Okay, perfect. Get ready, steady, enter, and wait for your computer. And you can see average. So small changes like this, which there's just a little baby one. Okay, return. Fudgeable. Okay, there's some noticeable bits. It depends what it's for. If this is the front cover of your magazine, no way, Jose. But if this is a meme that you're making, then probably it'll work enough. Later on in this course, I'll show you different techniques to tidy up some of these things, but that'll be in the retouching part and a little bit later on. So for some images, it's magic, and some images I find probably about maybe 40% of images, maybe even 30%. Okay, actually work without a hitch. The rest of them need some retouching, and lots of them just don't work. It's just the wrong kind of format. But regardless, it's a super cool little extra trick. Okay, just remember, content aware. All right, gang, that is the end of this video. Let's get into, there's some more cropping. You thought there was only a little bit of cropping, but there's a good few videos with cropping. Trust me, they're all useful. Let's jump into another one now.